Hello, everybody of the Annie Games podcast. We are back with a banger, and as you can see, or for the audio listeners, we do have a very, very special guest with us, Mr. Toitan. Please take the floor, gentlemen. A round of applause. First IFBB pro on the show.
That's it.
Youngest,
first and probably last at this point after today.
Yeah, man. But yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Toitan, 22 years old, IFBB pro, natural. Yeah, get the badge in.
Decent that.
Yeah.
Decent.
I would say the most impressive natural physique, I'd say, in person I've seen. Maybe Prosper is up there, I'd say, as well. But yeah, no, just genuinely that mind-blowing physique. So yeah, man. So just for the listeners then, I don't know if you want to just give us a little intro as to who you are and everything then.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, my name's Toitan. I'm a natural pro bodybuilder at this point now. I've been bodybuilding, I guess, like seriously for like 3 years now, but training for around 5.
That's crazy to look like after 5 years.
You know how many people just switched off the show, just like
yeah, just give up bodybuilding after that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of like taken over my life, like every aspect of like the way I plan my days, plan my months, plan life in general. And I've fallen in love with it. So that's a little bit about me. Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, man. So like, just for my interest, right? I know you get a lot of hype and you're probably aware of it at this point now, rightly so. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you manage like all these social pages sharing you and everything? And do you ever like think that pressure gets to you at all, or do you just like take it in?
The way I look at it with social media is that like nothing on social media is really real. Like literally, like in the span of a day, I could open my phone and see someone comment under my post like, "Your triceps are shit, bro. Like your arms are too long to be a stag." And then close it, open Instagram again, and someone will comment, "Damn, bro, how'd you build your triceps?" So it's like, if you listen to every opinion and you follow every like scent in the wind, you're gonna be like going everywhere, and like it doesn't really do much benefit for like what's directly in front of you, which is just like training and getting better. So I try not to like actually buy into or listen to a lot of hype, especially because like I said, if you listen to everything, your head's gonna be everywhere, and like that will like influence you into making decisions from people that don't really know you or your situation. So like some people be like, "Oh, you need to hop on, whereas like you don't know if I can even financially afford to upkeep that kind of thing and lifestyle and like how it affects your life. So I kind of prefer to just like listen and stick within the opinions of people in my camp and like my direct circle, because I know more often than not their opinions are in my best interest. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, man. So that's really interesting, man. So that I almost want to delve into a little bit more of that. So like sort of like who's in your camp, why they're there as well. Because obviously like I think any good level coach can obviously see potential within somebody and then want to almost like hop on or influence that individual to sort of being underneath them. Obviously you've had the liberty of choosing. So you choose and select who you're associated with. So who and why, man?
I work with Leon Pearson. He was with Physique Collective for a couple of years, but I don't really know if he is with them anymore, because he doesn't bodybuild anymore. He's kind of like focused more on like general life, like raising a family, etc. And I've been working with him now for going on to 4 years. And the reason I even initially signed up with him is because I loved going into bodybuilding. I loved like the posing aspect of it. Like I'd watch tons of videos of like Frank Zane pose, etc. So I'd always see his posing routines, and I was just like, that's just who I want me like to coach me, because I didn't really know much about like coaching and everything. He was just the first person I saw, and I was like, yeah, cool. And ever since then, we've really developed like a really good like relationship. He's someone that like I respect to the utmost level because of everything I know about him and like the way we've been able to have conversations and speak about like things that are just generally outside of bodybuilding. And I can come away from those conversations and be like, that's a man I respect. And I know he himself has put in the reps in bodybuilding. Even if he doesn't do it anymore, I know he's put the reps into bodybuilding. And he also respects my like opinions on ways to like carry out like preps. Like this past prep, it was a lot more like conversations about like how to actually like go about things and how my body reacts and back and forth. And I appreciate that I'm given the ability to like not push back, but like have a voice when it comes to making decisions to turning out the way my physique develops. So he's someone that's going to be in my camp for a very long time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then in terms of like keeping that camp the way it is, you know, like, I guess, how do you almost like keep loyalty to that or to him? You know, do you have a plan on switching? Do you have a plan on taking?
No, I don't really have a plan on switch. Like he's I owe a certain level of like internally I have a certain level of respect for him. So it's always a case where like it's always a case where it's like I don't really look around at other coaches as to like how their results are. Like I can see that other coaches are successful with different physiques and different people, and I'm like, that's great and good and all. But he's done so much for me, like personally, that I feel like I own to just keep working with him basically because we have a good thing going. So it's like why we change if not? But I mean, it might get to a point in the future, like I don't know how many years, but it might get to a point where if I keep developing and getting into different levels, it might be a conversation. But I saw there's a guy on Instagram called Qais Cooper. I might be mispronouncing.
Yes, I know who he is. Yeah,
he has a saying about coaching and like coaches. It's like don't once you go pro or once you're trying to take your physique to the next level, don't go for a pro coach or whatever. Take your current coach and work with them to develop them, give them the experience, to become that top level coach, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think literally everything we've learned of like developing my physique and handling my prep, we're getting better every single time. So long as we keep getting better and everything keeps going well, I just don't see a reason I would feel the need to.
I think that's a good relationship though, because realistically, you want to, if you've got a coach, you're going to want to run through a brick wall for them, especially when competing. You want to bring them success as much as you want to do well. It's going to translate for their business. So having that connection with Leon, like you say, you're probably going to get more out of him because you've got that relationship already.
Yeah.
You'll be able to take it much further anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I mean, like, I'm the same. I've worked with my coach now for 8 years today. We've been working together.
Yeah.
And like, ultimately, like, we've achieved good things. I've progressed a lot. Like, why would you change? And I imagine you could probably get a lot of people in your ear saying, oh, trying to be nice to you, try to sweet talk you, and maybe trying to not poach you as a client, but like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's one of them where like, yeah, sure, there are great coaches, but I don't know. It's like the grass isn't always greener, as they say. Where, yes, they could be like this guy with amazing reputation, but ultimately, like, in my opinion, there's no such thing as the best coach. Like, it's the best coach for you at the end of the day. And if you've built that relationship with someone, as these guys have said, like, why change? Why change? There's no point. So, yeah, man, no, you're doing the right thing for sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right, enough bodybuilding chat now. Yeah, anime. Okay, so no, we saw you went to Japan recently, actually. So how was that?
Yeah.
Talk us through that.
So I'm sponsored by a clothing company, Control Insanity.
Yeah.
Check them out. I think also shameless plug, but we're like expanding into the EU and like UK shipping and stuff like that. Like
Nice.
for next year, so keep an eye out if you ever
Drop the code, Toitan 10 or whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll put it in the link.
But, yeah, I mean, it's amazing being sponsored by them because one of the opportunities and amazing thing to be with them is that there's a lot of like brand trips to like promote the new drop that's coming. So it was literally 2 days after my pro qualifier, and so I landed and had 1 day to just like mentally prepare and then fly to Japan, and we were there for 7 days. That was absolutely awesome. I met some amazing Japanese people over there. They were so kind. There was these one guys, they have like a YouTube channel that's really big over there called it's like 109 Free Ride, where they pick up foreigners who's like their first time in Japan, like they take them around Tokyo or take them around local areas, and like they give you like a free meal and stuff. And like they're pretty much, I think they're sponsored by like the local government or whatever to like, it's like a part of like the tourism effort.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me this like free shank.
Oh,
sick,
bro,
man.
that's sick.
Sick as fuck. So
That's
yeah,
so sick.
it was awesome. It was one of the best experiences of my life.
Did you just go to Tokyo
How was
then?
the gyms?
So wait, I didn't hear.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you just
I
go to
want to
Tokyo?
Fucking hell, boy.
Sorry,
Fuck,
I thought you were on about me.
I'll
Sorry,
go
Noah.
fuck myself, Qais. honestly.
Yeah, you do that, Noah. Yeah, you do that. Go on. So was it just Tokyo you went to?
No. So I was in Tokyo for the first 2 days, and then I spent 1 day in Kyoto, and then we went to. I don't actually know where like Mount Fuji is, like in terms of like, geographically, but we went to Mount Fuji as well on the second to last day. So it was a fair bit of like going around.
Yeah.
Would you say, Noah?
Right. I want to know what the gyms are like because I saw you were training at Kaneken Fitness, which is where I used to train.
Yeah.
Was that the only gym, or did you go to any of the other ones like Powerhouse and all that?
Yeah, we went to Powerhouse as well. Powerhouse was really good. Had a ton of equipment there. I think I don't know, did I? No, I think I preferred Powerhouse to Kaneken, to be fair. Kaneken was really cool. That's also one of the memories that's never gonna like. I still remember the first time I gave someone my signature, but that was the first time I was asked to like sign a wall as a
Yeah, the wall when you come in next to the stairs.
yeah. They asked me to sign a wall as a pro, and I was just like,
Yeah, that's
what
pretty
the
cool,
fuck?
man.
And like people in the gym had like, I think they'd recognized me or whatever, and that again was also just like, and even actually that's actually in Kyoto we were waiting outside of the train station, and there was these two guys. I was stood next, Quentin Beastwood.
Beastwood. Yeah.
So I'm stood next to him, and like he's fucking massive and everything. So like there's these two kids, and they're stood in the corner, and you can kind of tell they're like looking at us, and I'm like, I don't know whether they're looking at Quentin because he's like fucking big and massive, or like they're looking at me because I'd made direct eye contact. But so it kept going for like 5 minutes, whatever, and then they came up to me and they were like, IFBB Pro, and I was like, what? I was like, what? I literally, like, it blew my mind, and then they just started speaking to all of us, and I was like, this is absolutely insane. Like, the world is such a
Yeah, well, that's probably going to happen more so now, I'd say, over the coming months and years for you, the more you travel and everything. So, yeah, I'd probably get used to it. But, so what would you say was your favorite thing you did in Japan then?
It's connected to that 109 free ride. They took us to a place called Tokyo Karage Land, and they pretty much just like gave us a bunch of like free karage. And I'd never eaten I'm going to say karage a lot in the next 10 minutes, but I'd never eaten it before. And that might be the best meal I've had in my life. Maybe because it was free, or maybe because it was just good, but that was amazing. They have this thing called, it's like a chicken nanban. So it's just Japanese fried chicken topped with like tartar sauce. Absolutely exceptional, bro. I was like, I was blown away. So that was an amazing experience. We ended up going back there like a couple days later without the free ride people to just have it again. I think I must have had karate like 4 times whilst there. Like, quite amazing. What else was a good experience there? Mount Fuji was beautiful. Traveling that local area.
Did you actually go up Fuji?
So we had like a coach that took us around the local area basically.
Yeah.
So he took us to like the base. And like we saw like the famous Lawson that's in front of the.
Yeah.
We went around there. That was cool. And then we went up like I don't want to say like into Fuji, but like one of the surrounding like viewpoints.
Yeah.
It was just like it was like a shrine. We went around there. Kyoto was also a peak. That was really beautiful. Kyoto.
Yeah, wicked, man, wicked. Have you got any other travel plans coming up then?
Not that are like control and sanity related. With me and my girlfriend, we're gonna go around Italy in January. We're gonna go to Florence, Bologna, and Venice for a couple of days, just like travel. That's gonna be nice. Yeah.
Lucky bastard. How long were you in New York for? Because I saw you done the shoot and like the big posing coming off of the big. So what was all that about? Was that another shoot or?
So we did like a pop-up shop in New York, and I arrived 1 day early, and I'd been talking to Kev about like doing a posing routine around the city. So that was originally what we were gonna do, because we had like one day before everyone else got there, and we were gonna do everything. So we have one day to like shoot this, and we were literally going from location to location, just filming the posing routine. And then we're at the, I think it was was it the last? No, it was the second to last, because the last was Times Square, which was, that was insane. But it was the second to last place, and we're at this like rooftop bit. And it's like, this guy, he was really interesting. Like he's a photographer, and like he owned this building. There's like it was one of the best spots for like the skyline of New York, and he routinely hires it out to people to like do shoots on or film like music videos or whatever. And like he's walking us around, and he's like, who's the focus of the video? And they're like, oh, it's me. And he brings me over to this like edge, this like corner, and he's like, every time I have someone here to do something, I like would usually ask them if they want to like stand on the corner bit. And because he was telling me a story, he had like a jazz artist stand off the edge and play a saxophone into the sea for like an hour and a half a couple of years back. So I was like, that's a fucking sick story. He's like, do you wanna pose? And I was like, we were there with another athlete called Charlotte, and big respects to her. I was like, I'm not doing it unless you do it. And so she went on that first, and she posed and everything. I was like, okay, cool, fuck it. So literally, I'm like, it's like barely as thick as my laptop. Like literally not slip, because if I fold right, it's literally just straight, just down. But on the left, there was like a little bit where like it would hurt, but you wouldn't die. So I was fucking shitting bricks. I was trying to not look down, and I just walked all the way and just posed. So that was fucking sick.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever fallen on that? Do you know?
Nah, he didn't tell.
He wouldn't have said.
Yeah, probably have, but next time, Annie Gaines New York trip, all of us do like a lat spread on there together.
Oh
But
mate,
that wasn't even the scariest, because the scariest bit was because we went to Times Square, and literally in the middle of like everything, there's tons of people walking. Because have any of you been to New York? Or,
yeah.
You know how there's usually like performers and like people make a circle to watch them and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not a performer. I was literally just there to pose and then go. But because I was shirtless, people assumed that I was a performer. So now there's like at least like 100 people like circling, and I'm like, and I've got to hit the whole posing routine. I hit it once. I'm like, okay, cool, thank God. Our cameraman Nick, he's like, nah, do it again. Do it again. So I think I must have done the routine like 7 times, and then more and more people literally just kept piling on, and I was like, this is like the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Was
It's
this
pretty
partway
cool,
through
though.
your season? Was this partway through?
It was, so originally my season was only meant to be the regional and then pro qualifier.
Yeah.
But it was literally 2 weeks before the WNBF show, because funny tidbit, I've never won an overall before this season, and I've always seen the overall winners like with swords. And I was like, that's the fucking coolest thing of all time. I've never, and then I was looking around at what like you get for winning overalls, and with 2 bros you get like
A
this.
plate.
You get the
They used to
fucking
give
frisbee.
swords, didn't they? At 2 bros.
and then with the pro qualifier, you'd only get the pro card, and you get like some statue thing. And I'm like, I want a sword. Like I actually just really want a sword. So I knew WNBF was a couple weeks after, and I was like, fuck it. Like let's try get that let's try get that sword overall. So it was 2 weeks before. So I literally, again, funny story. It was my 1-year anniversary with my girlfriend, and we were going to we had a holiday for Dubrovnik. So I landed from New York at like 4 a.m. and I made my way to another London airport at like 10 a.m. and then I was in Dubrovnik for like 5 days, and I literally just lived off coffee and protein shakes. So I wouldn't mess up the prep, and then I landed back, and it was 2 weeks out, and everything went well. So it was worth it.
Didn't go bad, I suppose, did it?
Yeah, I dried out like crazy during that, because I was just steps and coffee. It was awful.
That was the first time I'd seen you compete, because you had done the UK DFBA and Classic like, was it 2 years before in 23?
I was at that show. You competed. Was it like Finn?
Finn, Jack Kingsley Clough was in it.
Aaron
Yeah, why not,
Carpenter
man?
and Jack Kingsley
Yeah.
Clough. wasn't it?
It's
Yeah,
mad.
I remember that. And I remember seeing you as well. I was like, who's this kid?
I remember I was backstage and I was talking to Leon and I was like, I was so nervous. Like, and he talked me through it. He's like, look, as long as you've got your vacuum, you're gonna be all right. Like, you're gonna place well. So he, like, literally during the time because I did teens earlier in the day, and then it was classic. In between, he was just like, look, try not to put too much volume in your stomach so you can still pull your vacuum really well, and just go out and do your best. And literally in my mind, I was like, as long as I can get first call out, I'm gonna be like, because I think it was like 12 guys in that lineup.
Yeah, it was a big lineup.
It was a big.
I think there were more. I think there were like 15 or something.
It was huge. Yeah, I think it was even a third call out. Like they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I literally, when I got the first call out, I was like, yes. And I didn't really know how it worked with like placing like with Santa Cruz and everything. So I thought I was like, oh yeah, man, you know what? How might actually, like, my confidence was rising because I think they put us through so many rounds of comparison. It was again and again. So I was thinking, all right, like I might actually be in like the top 3 in this. And I was like, let's go. And then I got 5th. No, was it 5th or 4th?
I think it was 4th because I think Finn got 3rd and I think you got 4th, didn't you? I think that's Finn's claim to fame now that he beat you.
But you know what? That might be the most impactful show I've ever done because after I got off that stage, I was so pissed. Like, so I went in nervous thinking, I'm probably not even gonna get first call out, And then after I got off, I was so pissed that I didn't even get a chance to. Because after I was explained like how it like I picked it up as it was going up, because they kept moving Aaron and Jack and Finn. I figured out, okay, cool, that's how they figured out. And I'd never got the chance to stand next to I think it was Jack or Aaron. So I was like, damn, it kind of like it stuck with me the whole off season. I was just like, fuck it, like there's no way these guys can be that much better than me. So like, it's what's kept me going through. Even now, or last season, because I lost as well to Patrick Asante.
Yes.
In my second show. And that literally is the same thing, never left my mind because I was like, I can never lose to these people that beat me before. And like, it motivated me like crazy. And then I really wanted to compete with Patrick this year, but he did bodybuilding instead of classic at that show.
He saw you were competing and he didn't want the smoke. Just went to bodybuilding instead.
Patrick done every show this year. He's had a season. It's been
even in men's
months.
physique, he won his IFBB pro card in men's physique. Yeah, nah, fair play, man. Nah, he's a good guy. But another thing as well. You worked with Derek, didn't you, on posing? How was that?
So like, me and Derek go back. Like, we've been like friends and stuff for like, I want to say like 2.5 years ish. And it'd been times where I'd visit Muscle Works and we'd train together and then pose or whatever. And then he was like watching my posing one day. And he was like, oh, I noticed you can tweak I have a lot of issues opening up my back double bicep properly. And he was just giving me like tips on, like, we went through sessions and like posing rounds and like how to like open up. And especially with WMBF, they have they had a unique criteria for classic posing. Like,
classic posing,
yeah. So he helped me tweak.
What are your thoughts on that criteria? I'm not a fan of it.
I think classic physique within the natural scene in the UK needs a whole like rethinking. Basically, like, I didn't understand why they put a weight cap on UK DFBA one, and I don't like the post WMBF one. DFBA is probably my favorite federation to compete with. Like, I loved that show I did in 2023, and I really wanted to do UK DFBA again this year. But with the weight cap, I would have literally had to weigh the exact same I did in 2023. And I think I was up like 5 kilo or something like that. And it was like, there's literally there's no way I could have done that. And so that's, I think that needs to be probably gone. Same thing with WMBF with the posing. Like, I understand there needs to be a differentiator in terms of like criteria and judging. So you're going to either tweak the posing or you can tweak the weight. But I feel like that just comes down to how the judges, if judges are just consistent with how they critique, then there's no need to add in these kind of populations. Because realistically, no one's going to be on stage as a natural doing classic at like 100 kilo or
Yeah.
anything like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or no one, just because you don't pose with your hand open in the back double doesn't
Yeah.
mean you're classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I get why like the classic physique criteria is that way, but I feel like there's definitely more change that could be made.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's easy to see if someone looks classic or not. Like, you don't need to get them to do asymmetrical back double bicep. For me, that makes no sense, because you're just throwing off the symmetry of the pose. And part of what makes that look classic is like having symmetrical lats and everything. And like, I don't get why you need to do that. And even with that side chest as well, when you're hitting it like that, it's like,
Yeah.
just because Arnold did it once doesn't mean it's everyone in classic has to hit it like that.
But if that's what was beneficial with working with Derek, because I was like in my head about the quartans and all that, and he was like, look, I think the best thing you can do so you feel natural in it is that so what I was doing that show, I hit every pose so when they said the side chest, I just hit a regular side chest for like 1 to 2 seconds, and then switched into the switched into it. Same with the back double bicep, I hit a normal one and then just switched into it. And I working with Derek was amazing. Like, highly recommend him.
Derek is a friend of the Annie Gaines podcast.
Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay, anime chat now. So, what are you watching at the minute?
Soul Eater. Yeah. I think I'm on episode 30.
Yeah.
Soul Eater. Yeah. That's an anime that I'd been like not putting off, but like it was always on my radar to watch. And then I just started it like last week. No, it would have been 2 weeks ago now. And honestly, I'm not gonna like recency bias, like put it up there as like one of my favorites or anything. But I will say that it's I don't know who the writer or the mangaka is, but that's one of the better executed animes in terms of like feeling like you've actually just been plopped into a world instead of like them creating the world and now you have to understand it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like everyone feels like they've known each other for like 5 years prior, and it's literally we're just watching them instead of like, oh, meet this guy. Like, it felt very natural, and it's really good, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
The design of it's sick as well.
Yeah.
The artwork's wild.
Artwork is fun.
Yeah, that's been a show that I've been like, it's been on like the back of my watch list. I don't know. The thing that sort of loses me is Soul Eater's pretty old, isn't it?
It's like 2009.
Okay, it's not that old to be fair.
No.
But yeah,
like even though it's 2000s, it still has a pretty like fluid and like fresh animation style. Like,
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, I find that like now, like I don't know, if you see like a lot of like anime that are coming out now, like in terms of like stimulation that you get from them in terms of like color pops and how fast paced they are, it's very, very hard. And I feel like it's a reason why like a lot of people are struggling to get into older animes, or even like, things like Attack on Titan, because they just find that things take too long to get good. And I think that's been the one thing that's been putting me off about Soul Eater. I'm like, okay, well, is it not going to be, I don't want to be 14 episodes in and be like, okay, this is really like,
it's only, I think it's 51 episodes.
Okay,
like,
right, yeah.
So like right from the start, it's like, it's not like going to be super fast paced from the start, but like it's one of the more really funny animes. Like I actually find myself genuinely like laughing out loud. So like it more deals with like the slice of, I don't want to say slice of life, but like it more deals with like the more like in the first like I think 5 episodes there are fights from the jump, but like it's not as intense and high stakes as it is later on in the sequence. But like it deals with the more like interpersonal development between the characters, because it's like, you know how like a typical shonen it'll always like divide the younger kids into like groups of like 3s or 2s or whatever. The first 3 episodes, the first 3 episodes deals with like the interpersonal relationships between the groups of 2s. So like you get a really good understanding of how everyone deals with each other, and then they cross over. So you get an understanding of how now these 3 groups of 2 like deal with each other. So from there, and then it's like once you're into like the first 5 episodes, you have a really good understanding of how the show will work, and it's just like it's a good time. It's a good time, basically, is the way I would describe Soul Eater.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I think it's good when shows do that, when they give them a bit of time to breathe and like they actually make you care about the characters first. then obviously when they do have fights, then you care more about the stakes. Whereas a lot of the shows now, it's just they're thrusting you straight into like action straight away, and it's like, well, why should I care about this?
Yeah, that's an issue I had with there's this new one, I forgot the name, but it's the guy that like he gets thrown into like a trash like
Gachakuta.
I tried watching that, like I actually gave him my best attempt, but like I watched the first episode and I was like, I don't care about this guy. Like I can see why it would be good, and I probably will watch it like at some point. But like after the first episode and then the second episode, you get into it, and like I'm assuming the guy that he meets is like supposed to be the mentor kind of figure. Like they're fighting all these trash monsters, and I'm like, it's been like 40 minutes of watch time, and like you're doing a lot right now, and I don't really care about this guy that much, but I could see it being good. That first episode didn't do it for me too.
Yeah, man. That's the biggest gripe I have with Solo Leveling as well, to be honest. I mean, it's just action fight after fight, but it's like, okay, the character's cool, but it's like, I don't really care that much, and I don't care about any other character at all in that whole show. They don't flesh out any other characters.
Yeah. I mean, I can't lie. I don't like to be like an anime elitist or anything, but like
no, please be an anime elitist. We are anime elitists here.
But like solo leveling from the videos I would see of it, like not even like the actual content of what I'm saying, but like the way I would see it being promoted and pushed, I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this. Like I literally didn't even give it a try, because it's just like it does not. It's like kind of like a Record of Ragnarok when that was coming out years ago. I just like it. I just know this isn't gonna be like what I'm looking for in like an anime. So that's a show I've never given a try.
Yeah, no.
The best thing is though, right? I'm not the only One Piece lover here, right? I'm fucking buzzing because Derek came on. Derek loves One Piece, and I wasn't here. I've got someone else by my side.
Yes,
mate.
What One Piece? Read what? Actually, don't watch it. Read One Piece.
I've watched about 130 episodes. I'm still not like completely hooked.
When is that?
What part do you get to?
What arc are you on?
Alabasta.
See, it's okay. Listen. This is what I always say every single time. Finish Alabasta. If you don't like One Piece by Alabasta, it genuinely isn't for you. Like, cool, drop it. But I got a DM from someone who was like, "Oh, I'm on Fishman Island, and I still don't like One Piece. Does it get good after that?" I'm like, bro, Fishman Island is like 600
episodes.
I'm like, why are you still watching it? It's like, I know deep down inside you actually do like it, but you just don't want to. If you sat through and watched that many episodes, there's no way you like. And even my older brother, he's been, bro, he's I want to say he's like 7 years older than me. I can't remember his exact age, right? I know he's 29. Yeah, so he's like, he's 7 years older than me. He started watching One Piece when I was in year 10. He went to uni, graduated uni, and he's been graduated for years now, and has still not got past Whole Cake Island. I'm like, bro, you're not watching it to actually enjoy it, then. You're just watching it as like you're dragging your feet. Because how has it been like 6 years of watching One Piece? And in the space of like, I picked up One Piece in 2020, like fresh out of lockdown. At that point, the anime was just before Wano. The flashback,
Yeah.
And I caught up and I started reading, and I've been reading since 2020 now. And I'm like, bro, there's no way in like 7 years you haven't been able to get past Whole Cake Island. And I've done this whole thing. It's like, I feel like with One Piece, you kind of have to proactively consume it, like try to enjoy yourself and like pick up on the littler things of the page. I think if you to pick it up, I would definitely say read it over anything, because then the pacing is not an issue. It's genuinely more down to like how well you read. Like the anime is actually awful, like pacing wise. I think I saw something where it's like traditional animes translate usually 2.5 to 3 chapters per episode, but One Piece, the anime, like at least back in the day, would literally do sometimes half a chapter or like 3/4 of a chapter per episode. So like I can understand why it's like, oh, it's too long to get through, but it's quality once you do.
Mate, it's the best. It's the best time because there's so many breaks at the minute with the manga that
Yeah.
it's getting caught up. I remember it was 2 years ago. I was staying in Tokyo at the time, and it was whenever we were getting the flashback about Bonnie and
Yeah.
Bonnie's upbringing from Egghead.
Mm.
And I remember reading that thinking, oh my god, this is unreal.
Yeah.
And then it's only just been actually animated
Yeah.
like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so. Have you watched the newest episode?
See, I stopped. I used to tap in every now and then to like catch up on like the cool fights I wouldn't want to watch. Like I think I tapped in to watch Luffy via Kizaru, and then I haven't seen, but I've seen the animation for when massive spoilers. But I've seen when he sees when he feels that guy's hacky, and I'm like that looks fucking sick. But I haven't actually like gone through and watched any of the new stuff.
Episode. To be fair, Egghead is so good.
Yeah.
I had gotten into the anime and I got up to I had finished Fishman Island and then we were on to Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
Before going on to Dressrosa, and it was so. I hated Fishman Island. I thought it was shit.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get back into it in terms of Dressrosa. But I had started reading from that point instead of watching.
Yeah.
But I went back and saw little bits. So like Zoe, Wano, and things like that. But I already, because I read ahead, I knew what was going on. But when I saw that on my TikTok, when Emmett fucking pulls out the hack, I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch this. And I even messaged the boys. I put in the group chat. I was like, by the way, this fucking episode is so good. This is so good.
It's good though, because what they're doing is I think the anime is gonna go on hiatus from, I think it's from after Christmas or from after New Year. They're gonna go on hiatus and start doing One Piece as a seasonal anime.
Yeah.
So the pacing is there's no better time to get into One Piece than, I would say, like 2026 or 2027, provided you live that long. That's the one thing about One Piece. You might actually die before.
Yeah.
But next year or the year after, because especially because there's also going to be a reanimation. So it would also be seasonal. So when that reanimation comes in, I think a lot of people need to pick up One Piece from there, because it's going to be like watching any other anime kind of length.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch the live action?
I don't know whether this is going to be a hot take or not. I don't watch anything that's live action because I feel like you actually don't need it. Like there's like, even like with Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live actions of that. No, like
did you see the 2010 movie?
Yeah.
Oh my day, that's probably one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life.
But this is my thing. It's just like these medias were made specifically as the specific medias they are because the limitations of live action.
Yeah,
like if that makes sense. Like this story that was told by this artist was specifically done because you can't do it in this way, so they wanted to do it in that way, and you can stretch the limits of imagination. I don't need to see Luffy as a human. I actually don't need to see that. So like I don't bother with that shit. Like I tried watching it, and I don't like the actor. And I think that's because he's human. Like that is how Luffy would act, but it's because he's human. I'm like, this guy's corny. So it doesn't translate well for me, like live action things.
I agree. No, I agree. I'm like, if I've seen the story already, like told in its purest form, then why would I need to see it in another form? Like, yeah, no, I agree. I think the One Piece one was actually quite well received, but even then, like,
I enjoyed it. It's the only live action I've ever went out my way to watch, to be fair. But I don't know if that's just because I'm a big glazer of One Piece. I love Oda. I'll just say, yeah, it's good. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah, it got well received. As you can tell by the back, I'm really into Lego, and even though I hadn't,
you get the sets.
Yeah, I know. So that's what. Even though I'm not into the live action, I was paying attention to the collaboration with Lego.
Yeah,
and it really upset me that even though it was a collaboration with One Piece, it was only a collaboration with the live action stuff. So and then what they did is on launch day, they did this thing where you can go into any store and build the Gamu Gamu no Mi. And I was like, oh shit, cool. So I went to my local Lego and I queued outside for 2.5 hours, and literally the guy before me got in and was able to make it, but they literally ran out of Legos before, just like, and they would, the thing is, even worse about it is that like, routinely they would come into the queue and be like, there's no guarantee you're gonna get it. But I was just like, nah, like today's a good day. It's sunny out. Like I'm feeling good. I waited 2.5 hours, and they were like, yeah, nah, it's done. Go home. And I was just like,
you should get more patience than me. I had been wanting to like decorate my house with little bits, but I am also a bum. I will buy everything off of a Chinese fake website and get replicas. That's what I'll do. So I had found this random like wholesaler in China that was selling these Wall-E Lego sets. And I
yeah,
found one that had the Going Merry and all the characters with the wanted signs. So I
Oh.
went and bought all the characters because I thought, oh, they've got an actual Lego set. But
yeah,
it was like the actual live action's face. It
yeah,
wasn't Luffy, it was his actual like
like,
human face. It
yeah,
was shit. So I'm like, I'm not buying the real thing. I'll pay £8 and I'll
Yeah.
get a big fuck off Going Merry.
that's good. I respect that. I want to, in my heart of hearts, start getting like you said, like Chinese wholesaler Legos. But like I always end up just like just opting for the actual one. Like if that was like regular One Piece, not live action, I would have actually gone and spent like I think
Yeah.
200 quid or something on the Going Merry, but the live action one.
Nah, can't do it.
Would you say One Piece is your favorite anime then?
It's my favorite manga, not anime.
Really?
Right. Top 3 anime then.
Top 3. So when I say with anime, like the reason why I'd say it's my favorite manga but not anime is just because like you have to consider things like the pacing and like
Yeah.
so that's wouldn't put it in there. Naruto simply from like just nostalgia and like that's the love of my life. That's my number 0. Everything spawns from Naruto for me.
Yeah.
That's like it's non-negotiable. I'd say I'd put Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in there as
Good
well.
shout.
Yeah,
Good shout that. Yeah.
that would be in there. And then for number 3, it will be a toss-up between it'll be a toss-up between Yu Yu Hakusho or Vinland Saga as for
That's
that top
really
3.
interesting, man.
Base. That's a good list. Yeah. I think I had all of them. Well, I didn't have Yu Yu Hakusho because I haven't seen that yet. But I had the other 3 all in my top 5.
You need this is a hot take. Yu Yu Hakusho is everything Hunter x Hunter is, but better.
Oh, really?
Everything, because it's the same guy as Togashi. He
Yeah.
He wrote Yu Yu Hakusho a couple years before Hunter x Hunter. Everything that's really good about Hunter x Hunter in terms of like the character dynamics and like the way they rely on each other and they build up the relationship to the complexities of like villains like Meruem and Prolo and stuff is in Yu Yu Hakusho. But I feel like you get a much more like personal feel with Yu Yu Hakusho. Like you almost feel like the cast of characters are actually your friends and you're also with them during like every scene, because everyone's like come to develop the relationship of codependence with each other in such a like it's also like everything so even though I'm saying as a hot take, everything I'm saying as a benefit to Yu Yu Hakusho also applies to Hunter x Hunter. I'm not saying
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
everything feels so like natural in the way they develop their codependencies with each other and the way they breathe and act on like a small basis. So, and also it gives you there's a scene in an arc called oh my god, like like the typical like contest like tournament dark tournament.
Yeah.
Dark tournament.
Yeah.
The scene where it's like I don't want to spoil it, but the climax of it with Yusuke, I don't think Gon has a peak quite that high. Like you can argue with the peak in Chimera Ant and stuff, and that's good, but that's deep seated. Like I said, this isn't taking anything against Hunter x Hunter. It's like they're both as well written. It's just something I would prefer Yu than Hunter x Hunter. It's just the way he peaks in that arc is very special to me, basically.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
interesting.
I
I've
quite
never
like.
heard that before. Like,
That you better.
yeah, never heard that take before. It's interesting because Yu Yu Hakusho is it's a fairly old. Was it your brother that put you onto that?
Yeah, so a lot. I mean, pretty much every anime or manga I've read I've pretty much been put onto by my
Yeah.
older brothers.
Because
So
yeah, that's an older show. So like, especially with Hunter x Hunter, like a lot of like new gen people hopped on that, you know, because I mean the 2000 re-release was on Netflix, right? So
yeah,
that's for a lot of people their first.
as
anime, yeah.
as everyone should. Like that's
Yeah.
that's essential watching.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's
enter.
cool, man.
And it really. Nah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, mate. You're an IFBB pro.
It really. It really Hunter x Hunter will really test it almost acts as a litmus test for how you then go on to watch animes, because like the scene, you know, in the Chimera Ant arc, the scene where Pito and I forgot the other one's name, they absorb Miriam's like essence, and like they start having that orgasm scene.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It acts as a litmus test, because like some people will watch that, or like they'll see that and be like, "Oh, Chimera Ant arc is cool," but I couldn't really engage with it because there was a lot of weird shit going on. But like, if you watch that scene and you kind of just take it as it is, of them taking in these essence and the glaze or whatever, and just move on, you kind of now are geared to like be okay to watch something like a JoJo's and not be like, oh, I gotta turn this off because it's a little bit weird. Like you get more in, like you get deeper and deeper of accepting weird shit. Like even going on to watch like, where they start jerking off and shit. But like, it kind of gauges how far you're willing to go to watch an anime and keep watching the story and not be put off by weird shit.
Yeah. That's an awesome thing.
I think we're on Anigan, so we're all friends. We're all degenerates here, so it's fine. So okay, so what are your thoughts on Hisoka as a character then?
See, yeah, I mean, you know what, and that tells you what my thoughts are, because I didn't even bring him up as being weird shit in Hunter x Hunter.
Swing.
I think like he's interesting and well written and all, but like, yeah, that's like I said, litmus test. Like that's not even something that I would even like. He's not a character I think of when I think of weird shit in anime. So even though he's absolutely cooked,
yeah,
I think that's also a benefit of the remake, the 2011 or 2010 remake, because they definitely toned down a lot of the like the, I guess, pedophilia,
creepiness. Yeah.
They definitely toned down, but still made it so the message was like came through. Like I think I watched a scene and I looked at the manga panels for, like, you know, when they're in the what's it called? When they're in
Greed Island.
Yeah, Greed Island, and he's walking behind them too.
I showed these boys that very clip.
Yeah, they make it a lot more just like actually translating it straight from the manga to the previous make.
Yes.
So that's a benefit of the real remake, is that it tones down. But if you're still like glued into watching it, you see how cooked he is as a guy.
He's got a pretty decent physique though. His waist is tiny.
Yeah, awesome for men's physique, man.
Yeah, got a good V-taper.
Everything's forgiven for the physique.
It is.
Oh,
Toitan's going to be swinging at his next show. Oh, great. Okay, should we get on to some questions then?
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
Go. All right. Okay. Josh Dandy asks, rank the big three. I think we've already got that, because you've said Naruto's your fave, then One Piece, then Bleach, I'm guessing.
Bleach, I have a weird relationship with, because in the same way I've been put onto like older animes from my brothers, they were both really big into Bleach when I was growing up, and I never watched it like fully with them, but then so when I tried to watch it myself, I think I got to the Hueco Mundo arc, and I'm literally like midway through the first stage of the fight between Ichigo and Grimjow, and I'm just like, bro, I'm just not engaged as I should be. And like I think it was the build up to Hueco Mundo, where they're running through this tunnel for like 6 episodes straight, and I'm like, bro, this is so. But it had an amazing start with Soul Society, but I have not got past Hueco Mundo, so for me it would be Naruto, One Piece, and then Bleach.
Agreed.
I thought I was wanting a One Piece
fuming.
at number one. Yeah.
Like not One Piece. Like if I'm being objective, like agenda aside, One Piece is the best. But like in my heart of hearts, like I think I've watched Naruto like 6 times, and like in my heart of hearts, there's nothing I can say to be honest to be like, yeah, no, like I can't make a defensible argument that Naruto is better, but it's just vibes, purely of vibes.
Yeah, it's just how you connect with the characters immediately. It's the feeling that it gives you. Like objectively, like I can even say I'm a Naruto glazer. It has a lot of flaws.
Yeah,
Like especially like towards the end with the power scaling with Kaguya and all that, and
yeah,
some of the unnecessary flashbacks that just kind of ruin it a little bit.
yeah.
And sometimes the pacing's a bit stupid, but yeah, and obviously taught no jutsu, but even then you still love it. Like
Yeah.
you love the characters. Like the villain, I think the villains in Naruto are probably the best in any show, I would say, as a set of villains.
And that's why you need to watch Yu Yu Hakusho, because the villains in Yu Yu Hakusho, bro, it's next level. Like the Tagura brothers, amazing. I forget his name. No, is it Shinsui? Shinsui. He's like the villains in Yu Yu Hakusho are just the most toppest tier. Like essentially the no, it's a spoiler. If no.
Yeah, don't. I actually will watch Yu Yu Hakusho,
Yeah.
so don't spoil
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Let me know.
All right. Sweet. Okay. Next one. Worst anime you had to drop, and worst anime you actually watched all the way through.
Wait, what? As in, okay, yeah. So the worst one I've had to drop. I guess it'll be Blue Lock.
Oh no!
Oh no, no. The 180 is crazy.
Come on.
That might be a hot take, but like I when Blue Lock came out, it was what 2022. So I was in my first year of uni, and yeah, nah, like it just didn't do it for me. I think it's also because I'm very selective and picky when it comes to sports animes. Oh, it didn't connect the way I would have wanted a sports anime to connect. Oh, you know what? To appease people, I'll swap that out for what's that basketball one?
Kuroko no Basket.
Yeah, that it'd be either Blue Lock or Kuroko no Basket for me. That I just had to be.
Mate, Blue Lock's my fucking number 2 favorite anime.
Ah,
I
no.
love it. Absolutely love it.
It's not even anything. I don't think like if I was to probably rewatch it now, I think it was more a situation where it's like, even though it's cliche to say and it's weird to say, but like wrong time. Like it was just like the time for me to watch it, because I think I'm really into Game of Thrones as well, and around that time, House of the Dragon just came out.
Yeah.
So it was literally a matter of like, okay, I'm going to uni lectures and stuff. I'm going to the gym. Do I either now watch Blue Lock or do I watch House of the Dragon? And I was just like, I gave Blue Lock like 5, 6 episodes, and I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm not.
That's fair enough. Mate, I had started watching that. It was because it came out at the same time as the World Cup was out in 2022, because that was like the winter time. I was waiting for my flight home from Tokyo, and it was Japan, Germany.
Yeah.
And I was waiting, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to download a bunch of these episodes. Because there's that one, and there's Awashi. Have you seen that one? That football?
I've been meaning to get into that one. That looks really good.
That's good, mate. That is good. There's only one season. I think it's like 13 episodes. But the Blue Lock, I downloaded all these things ahead of the fight. I'm like, right, I'm going to watch it. And I had the football in the background. I was watching football, and I was like, oh, this is so good. And that's probably why I love it so much. But no, that's fair enough.
It kind of speaks to the same reason why I put Naruto so high. Is that like the environment and situation that you watch an anime, like given the right circumstances, it can impact how high you place it. Like something like Vinland Saga. Like at the time I consumed Vinland Saga was such a pivotal like directional shift in the way I was living my life. Like prior to, and not to be like super deep and stuff like that, but I didn't really have much of like a direct focus and drive, if that makes any sense. And I was kind of like drinking all the time, like whatever kind of thing, right? But like at the time I read and consumed Vinland Saga, I was just about to go to uni as well. And like it just really galvanized this like feeling of like, oh, I need to be better, like I need to be a better person, whatever. And like so like I get what you're saying. If you watch an anime at a certain time that it just absolutely is perfect, it kind of like crystallizes, and it's like it kind of ingrains it into your brain, like the behind it. So I hear that 100%. What was the second half? Was it worst one I had?
Worst one that you watched all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, a Sword Art Online, I guess, back in the day.
Yeah, that's a valid take. Yeah.
Back in the day, like, yeah, that would have been. It literally was one of those ones where it's like, you know, when anime start to get put onto like Netflix, like in like 2016, 15, kind of. It was one of those where like me and my mates would have sleepovers, and then we'd just sit and watch it through, and like we'd watch Death Note and stuff. So like that was one where I was like, you can, even when it's your first one, you can kind of tell it's not that good.
Yeah.
But like it was just the vibes of everyone chilling, watching, and you just got through Sword Art.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, is that because you're looking back on it retrospectively? But even then, like, you thought the show was shit.
Yeah, even then, because we just watched Death Note before, like at sleepovers.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
And you can, like, and the same thing, you don't need to watch a bunch of animes to know Death Note is like elite.
Yeah.
So then go watching Death Note and then you're watching Sword Art, you're like,
yeah,
ooh.
It's a bit of a drop off in that.
Yeah.
That's fair enough, man.
Sweet. Okay, next one. Guilty pleasure food.
Just regular food.
Yeah.
Cinnamon buns, cinnamon rolls, and anything cinnamon and pastry related in any shape or form.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Mate, I saw that full day of eating when you were still in prep at that point. You made that reel on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah.
You're just eating everything.
The thing is, my prep, I was still eating like 3,000 calories. So like, I was like just piling on cinnamon on top of like anyone.
Must be nice. Bro, I have to get to like less than 2,000 calories when I'm
you're on a bikini diet at the end of that.
I was literally bikini girl diet. Yeah.
But there's a I don't know if it's like everywhere yet, but there's a shop called Olenstein. I don't know if you guys have heard.
No.
That, if you ever get the chance, if you're ever walking, or if you're ever in like London or England, like down south, and Google Olenstein near me, and then they have a thing, it's called a cinnamon social. It's essentially like, so it's like a light layer of like custard at the bottom of the base. So it's like a pastry, and then it's like glazed and like cinnamon dusted of just like different strips of like pastry, like on top of each other. So you get this just amazing bite of like cinnamon and like slight custardy, and it's just glazed. It's just amazing. Like that's my favorite thing to eat.
I was going to say, how far is that? Is there one like close to Muscle Works in Bethnal Green?
Nah, there's not one close to Muscle Works, but there's one 25 minutes up the road from me. So it's like, and I'll sometimes when I'm doing work or whatever, I'll take my laptop and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go sit in Waterstones, and then opposite Waterstones is the Olenstein. So I'm just like,
whoa, when in Rome.
It's basically like Starbucks, Olenstein, but I think it's like Swedish or Icelandic or something like that. If you ever get the chance to try them, give them a chance.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Okay, guilty pleasure anime now.
Well, I'd say Naruto.
Is that a guilty pleasure?
Yeah, I mean, because it's like
it's a pretty standard anime, isn't it?
It is pretty standard, but it's just like, I guess when I think of guilty pleasures, like if I have nothing else going and I'm like, ooh, okay, cool. Instead, then it would be oh my god, I literally just thought of the replacement answer and it slipped my mind. What's wrong with me? Wow, why I'm actually just gone blank then. What the wait, so guilty pleasure anime. So how would you just define like guilty pleasure then?
So the one that you'd be embarrassed for other people to know you like it.
I don't care really. I guess in that case, probably JoJo's, if it's because like I guess it's bad, but I don't think there's anything bad.
No, yeah. I mean, I think typically when I think of that, I think of more like slice of life or romance ones. Like
I'm not. I don't think I've ever watched a slice of life anime from.
Have you not?
Mate, you need to watch My Love Story.
Yeah,
My Love Story.
Me and Cam have spoken about this in the pot. It is fucking peak.
Yeah.
My Love Story, it is goated.
I'm like a shonen tard, pretty much. I'm like a shonen seinen tard. I don't really get it.
It's
Have you
just this
seen,
fat Japanese boy.
yeah.
It's brilliant, mate.
Have you seen Your Name?
Your Name
Yeah, the film.
is the film. I've heard of it, but I haven't. See, that's
So that is actually a great film. Like, unironically, that is a fantastic film. It is more of a romancy one, but it's fantastic.
that's another issue with me with watching animes as well. I've never been big into watching like anime movies. So like even like let's say like a Dragon Ball film. No, I think the only Dragon Ball film I've watched like more than once and like loved was the Broly one that came out a couple years ago. But I mean, I was actually meaning to watch and like expand out on and there's one called I think it's called Blue Magic or something like that. It's like a jazz one. So I've been meaning to get into that, but I haven't gone big into movies.
Do you like music animes then?
See, no, I've never, but I really like jazz and I really want to learn how to play a saxophone. And I'd seen an edit of this Blue Magic one and I was like, this looks amazing. It's like that, you know the one where it's the food and like the food anime. I don't know what that one's called.
Food Wars?
Food Wars?
Food Wars, yeah. You know how Food Wars like pretty much takes cooking and makes it to the upper echelon of like exciting.
Yeah.
I saw this scene of this guy and he's playing the saxophone and like he's like just like flying through the galaxy and like touching the stars and shit. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I might actually get into that. So that I was meaning to watch that this weekend. That would be pretty dope.
Yeah, well.
Nice. Okay, next one. Okay, a couple people have asked this. Do you reckon you'll go assisted?
Not anime related at all.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, I'm really, really risk adverse. Like I don't want to. I mean, sometimes I stumble on my words a little bit. I'm really, really risk adverse. So a big part of like hopping on, because at the time when I would have most been thinking about it, I would have still been an amateur. After I did my first show, I wasn't really sure of like my potential because like going into the prep, I was thinking I'm the biggest teenager that's ever lived. Like, yeah, this is amazing. And then I did the show and I did my shows and I realized how much weight I actually had to lose and I just didn't look like how I had envisioned. So that kind of like threw off my body image of like in terms of like my potential, if that makes sense. So I would never, I then was worried about like, okay, cool. If I hop on and now I'm a kind of person that like, this isn't a shot or disrespect to people in like bodybuilding, but like, I know of people that are on steroids and like they're unable to get their pro card or whatever, but like they just keep going through all of like the health risks. Like I've heard of people like having heart attacks in the middle of prep, but like not taking that as a sign to pull back and like keep going through. And like the same way like you're conditioned when you're younger, like seeing the cigarette packets with like the holes in their neck or whatever, like that kind of scared me away from smoking. It's the same way I've been like mentally scared away from hopping on for a while because I was like, fuck that, I'm not trying to hop on and have a heart attack just to try to get a pro card or whatever. But after I did my first show this year, it kind of then refocused my understanding of my physique to be like, okay, I actually do have a really good physique and I actually do have really good like potential and to grow as tissue gets added onto my shape and like in certain areas. So it's become a question then of like, at what age would be appropriate? And because I'm only 22, I mean, I've actually never spoke about this. Anytime I ever get asked, I just say I have no plans of it. But because I'm 22, the way I look at it is that there's still so many, even though I don't think bodybuilding is an old man's sport. I don't think the best physiques, like just appeal wise, are like in their late 40s or whatever. But it's definitely not like a super young man sport. Like it's very rare that you're winning an Olympia, you're winning multiple pro shows at like 22, 23, 24. It's more like in like the late 20s. What I would do so like it really shifts. So I'm using so many words to answer this, but it really shifts. Like on a day-to-day basis, I might wake up one day and be like, you know what? Next year it's go time. But then I'll be like, nah, like fuck that. But the way I look at it, I want to compete again in 2026. And because I've got my pro card and you have to go through the Ben Weeders, if I was to win the Ben Weeders And again, this isn't to be disrespectful to any federations, but when I look across the landscape of like classic physique competitors, across all the different natural federations, with all due respects to like all the federations, I don't necessarily see much reason to keep doing like if I'd won it once, I don't really see a reason to do it again. And then if I look at somewhere like WNBF, even though I think it's a great federation and I think there's great competitors there, I already don't really see a reason I'd want to do that show, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it would be so then after this year, then it becomes a conversation of like speaking to my coach, doing health checks, and like looking at my family history of like blood clotting or like mental health, etc., and like having real conversations about like how that would actually look. So at the earliest, if I don't ever change my mind, I'd probably go assisted at like 25, 24. So that's still like 3 years from now. But yeah, the way I look at it.
Even just brain development, like you've still got a good few years until you've been able to make the proper, accurate decisions. Like, I mean, people hop on a lot earlier. You're doing the right thing, just giving it a bit more time. And I mean, it's not as if you've had a fucking bad run of it. You've won an IFBB Pro card as a natural, like,
yeah,
not that bad.
Exactly. Nah, definitely. And I think like, in my opinion, way too many people jump on that shouldn't.
Yeah.
That just don't have it.
Yeah.
Don't have what it takes to do well in bodybuilding. And I'm like, bro, if you built like a fridge, just putting on more muscle is not gonna help you do well and win pro card. But when you've got a physique like yours and you're that well put together and you can just see the insertions and the muscle bellies are like there and with more size, like, yeah, that is a physique that will be on the Olympia, in my opinion, like with more size. I genuinely think that.
Thank you.
So it's like, you know what, man, fair enough. If you want to do that in the future, I'm like, yeah, that's the type of physiques that I think probably it's fair for them to make that decision. But yeah, as I say, I think way too many people do it that probably shouldn't.
Early as well. I want that to be like a lesson for any like young person listening to this. I've had conversations in the gym with kids that are 18 years old who never even competed before, telling me, oh yeah, when I'm 21, I'm going to hop on, I'm going to do this. I'm like, bro, you don't know if you're going to want to do this by the time, you're 23, 24.
Yeah, it's actually really, that's because when I signed on with Leon, I think it was within 3 months of being with him. Like at everyone's stage of bodybuilding, there's always a point in time where you're like, your motivation is just like through the roof, and you're having conversations with your coach like, I'm going to be the best of all time. Like, we're going to shock the world, whatever. And I was having one of those conversations with him, and I was like, yeah, so I want to hop on in like a month. Like, let's do it. It's time. I know I'm going to be the best in the world. And I was like 18, and he was just like, no. Like, he just gave me like a full rundown of like reasons why it's not a good idea. And like, I still have so many years to like actually really know what I want to even do with, not even just with bodybuilding, and what I want to do with my life. Like, I still might in a year be like, you know what? Bodybuilding just isn't fitting with my current like aspirations. So I like, that's something I really appreciate, that I had the conversation with Leon, and that he kind of just put the pumps on it to be like, live your life first, like live more of your life and go through more experiences before you ever even fully consider. And I still think I have tons more experiences I need to go through and situations to handle before I think about actually fully doing it. So that's
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, fair play, man. Okay, back onto anime now. Anime unpopular opinion. So let's just say a hot take.
I've already gave the hot take of you.
Yeah.
But I will also say, provided someone has already watched season 1 of Vinland Saga, your opinion of season 2 tells me all I need to know about you going forward in conversations of anime going forward. Like, I will still give people the benefit of the doubt of like hearing them explain why they might not like it or whatever, didn't connect with it. But if your explanation is something along the lines of like, oh, I don't like Thor from being a pussy, I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to hear anything you have to say about any anime, like, ever. Like, even if you might have the most articulate explanation of any other anime in the future, I don't actually want to hear it.
Yeah.
That was my hot take.
Yeah, that's a fucking...
No, fair enough. I think normally they're the solo leveling fans. I'd say.
Yeah,
It's like those type of people.
and it's those kind of people that were recommending solo leveling too, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not about to watch that shit.
Yeah, that's a good take, man. Yeah.
Cam, have you got a hot take in mind? No. great podcast, this. Great podcast.
No,
Cheers,
no.
guys.
I don't have a hot take in mind.
I've got one. Attack
Go
on
on.
Titan is overrated. There you
Oh,
go. There you fucking go. Thank you.
Amen.
Titan.
Amen to that.
That's
Amen to that, brother.
Okay,
no.
overrated, I think, is a bit... It deserves its
not.
props. Like, it's a
It-
very,
it-
very good story.
Titan, have you watched it all?
Yeah, I watched it all. It deserves its props, but my issue with Attack on Titan would be similar to the way I have my issues with One Piece, is that one, I didn't like the execution of how they rolled it out. Like they were, it's almost like, you know, when people tell you something is good and should be good, it's almost like they themselves were like with the way they released the last season in like different parts and like were making it such a spectacle. I feel like they were doing too much in terms of like trying to build up as it being like this is the event to be watching. So like that already in the meanwhile of watching it in real time put me off a little bit. But also I just don't like the messaging of the last season, really. That's my main like gripe.
What you mean right at the end of the last season, you mean?
I don't like the way Eren carried himself in terms of the conversations he was having with what's his name?
Armin.
Yeah, Armin, when he's on the floor and like squealing and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also don't like the fact that I understand you might like his like Eren's specific reasoning for like doing the rumbling is to like, you know what, fuck it, you guys were pushing on us so much, let's set the record and it's like a wipe the slate clean, move on from here. But like when the Titans came out of the walls and like all of that debris was falling down, people like his own people were getting crushed underneath that, and I'm just like, what am I watching at this point? Because it's like I can understand that that's the messaging like the author was putting into it, that like when you have like authoritarian like extremist views, like everyone on all sides is being taken away from here. But it just didn't. I appreciate it and I thought it's good. I think it's really good. But it's like when I think about my favorites in terms of like the way I've been digesting them, it kind of falls in a tier just below like Death Note in like my like understanding of it. But some people will say that that's the greatest thing like of just media, like in terms of any type of media, that's the number one. And I'm just like,
For me, it's my number one anime. It's my number one anime. It just in terms of the writing and how much foreshadowing was put in there with it. Because for me, I'm big on the plot and the writing and the story, and that's probably the most important thing for me. And that is like, yeah, just the layers to the story and how it kept building on, and how you kept learning more every single season about the whole world and the story. I just thought it was amazing. I get what you're saying with the whole logic behind Eren. I think the whole point was that he's not supposed to be like a perfect god or whatever. He still was a human being at the end of the day, and that's all he was. He was a flawed human being. So, but I get people's gripes with the final season, with the motivations and everything.
I was going to say, would you say it was a little bit too on the nose then with its messaging?
Yeah, I feel like especially with that very last scene where like the world, like I think it goes through like 500 years of future.
Yeah, and it's basically like war happening again. Yeah,
and like I appreciate that messaging, and like I think it is really well done. And like on the point you made, Attack on Titan has one of the only times where like you genuinely can't tell what's actually about to happen next by watching. Like if you watch enough anime and then you go into something like Jujutsu Kaisen, realistically you can kind of guess what's about to happen to certain characters. You can kind of guess that someone like someone like Gojo might not win that. Massive spoilers. My bad. You know what? You can kind of guess what happened in characters based off the yeah, my bad. Ignore that. You can kind of guess what happens to certain characters based off the role they occupy in the story, because you can tell, okay, this is a shonen. What typically happens to this type of character in the shonen you can kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Attack on Titan, I don't think there was a single point where I could actually, like, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Like, I remember when the Beast Titan first came out, I genuinely, like, you know that meme where it's like lock in, where the guy like sits up?
Yeah.
When I saw him speak, I was like, oh shit, this is the god of Titans. It makes sense. It's the god of Titans. He's clearly like the one that made it all. But then it's like, yeah, nah, couldn't have been even, like, that wasn't even close. So like, it is a very good story in terms of like the forethought that's gone through it all. I just didn't like the execution personally, would be the gripe of that.
So are you more specifically referring to the ending?
Yeah, it's mainly the end.
Yeah.
And also a couple scenes like when that, it's not Sasha. When that girl
Gabby,
when she snipes his head off, I was like, that whole scene there, I was like, that was, I don't know. I might need to rewatch it, but like I remember being like visibly like, huh? But it's still good. Like it's still definitely a top tier anime and something I would recommend to watch. But I wouldn't ever place it as being that like top spot for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
that is a hot take. Anyway, sweet. Right. Okay. So that's the last of the good questions, I suppose, on the Anigans page. Have you got any?
Yeah, I've got some good ones. Yeah, cool. So, right. Okay, all right. We'll start with the good ones then, and then if we say run out, we run out. But advice for remaining positive through difficulty and adversity for those who may need it.
Good question. A way I stay positive is to understand that even this might sound backwards if this advice, but like every single experience will pass. Like every good experience, every good moment, every good stretch of time, and the same way every bad stretch of time, every bad moment, every bad thought, they will pass. And you have to eventually accept and understand that it is not your responsibility to make your entire living experience about attaching and making them stretch as much as possible, but to just go through and experience it all. Go through every single experience and take it in as much as you can and learn from it and move forward through it. And there's a thing I learned from this book I read called The Power of Now by a guy called Eckhart Tolle. He speaks about it's basically essentially some of the parts of the book can get quite wacky. Like he's really into like spiritualism and like transferring energy through your body and stuff, like almost like chakra. But if you read it to take certain parts of it, there's a part I took about with like if you're someone that deals with like constant thoughts and like overthinking, he almost explains that overthinking, the same way you wouldn't say that you yourself as like the individual, you yourself do not control your digestive process. Like you might be able to take things or do certain habits to aid your digestion. You don't necessarily have the capability to actually do the digesting yourself. It's the same way you yourself, you don't actually think, like you don't actually control the thoughts that are coming into your brain and how they develop and go through. You're more so you can be, if you decide to be, the watcher of your thoughts, so you can pay attention and be present and be aware of the fact that, okay, these negative feelings, these negative thoughts keep coming into my brain when I'm doing this, when this is happening. And instead of then associating those negative thoughts with yourself and your worth, it should be your role. This is what he says. It should be your role to observe them and not attach any necessary feelings to them. They are just what they are. Like the thoughts of, okay, I'm not good enough, I'm not da-da-da. That's just a thought that's come into your head because you've been in this scenario that's da-da-da. That doesn't mean that it's objectively true or is what it is. Just because it's in your brain doesn't mean it's something that you have to attach a feeling to. And then on top of that, he says that a lot of the anguish and pain that we go through in life comes from us wanting to be in a different position of time or space than we are right now. So like with the thoughts that comes into your mind, what will often happen is that you'll get a feeling of inadequacy, and then your brain will attach that feeling of inadequacy to your present self. So like in a bodybuilding sense, you might lose a show and then be like, okay, my lats, the judge will be like, your lats aren't good enough. That's an objective thought or statement that's going into your brain. And what we tend to do as humans is then take that feeling of lats aren't good enough and like attach that to every aspect of your being then. And then because you don't want that to be true, that feeling of like inadequacy stems from the fact that you're so desperately trying to fight against that being your actual reality. But if you can instead be the watcher of the thoughts that come into your brain, so that feeling that my lats aren't good enough, I'm not good enough, if you can step back and catch that before it develops into everything about me isn't good enough, you can then step back and just let that be a thought that you don't have to see yourself in, if that made any sense. That was
makes a lot
really
of sense. Yeah.
I think that's the deepest the Annie Games podcast has ever got
Fucking hell.
and ever will get.
Yeah.
that was wordy.
Bro's got me reassessing my life.
Yeah, man. Wise beyond your years, man. Jesus Christ. Especially compared to some of these other questions now. Jesus Christ. Okay. Right. Top 5 machines of all time.
Even though it's the stem of pretty much every issue I have with bodybuilding right now, the Cybex hack squat is my number one machine. The amount of memories I have on that thing, like there's a gym, when I was going to uni, there was a gym about an hour travel away. So I'd literally finish lectures and book it immediately to the train station, an hour train to Windsor because they had the only reason I was going to that gym is because they had a Cybex hack. There was other gyms closer, but I was like, I want a Cybex hack. The amount of memories I have of that thing, there's weeks, there's like months, periods where like I'm strength's amazing and then I tweak my knee and then I have to relearn how to squat. It's easily number one for me. I would say, what other machine? Actually, Cam, there's the Nautilus chest press that you're using right now. I see you worked it up to like 5 plates or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's insane. That would actually rip my chest.
I swear you've got like 4.5.
I did 4. I was running 4 for about 3 weeks, and then I started getting some serious like tendonitis straight through. So, okay, cool. This is clearly just it's not in my bag. But that the way that one feels, that's up there. That'll be top 2. The Cybex Eagle lat row, the one.
Oh yeah,
that would be in the 3. Even though I've never used it, this is purely out of jealousy for everyone I ever see using it. There's a prime chest press where it has the neutral grip. Yeah, like the
I use that one. Is it the incline or the
incline one?
Is it the pin loaded or the plate loaded one you're on about?
A plate loaded one.
Yeah, I use that. I've got that in. Yeah,
it's good.
Very good.
Yeah,
very, very good. Sometimes they mess. So the one at Ultraflex, they messed with the handles though. So they're quite wide, and it's a bit weird because they don't converge properly, so you don't get a good feel in your pecs. But there are some where it's a bit closer and it properly converges when you press up, and it's really, really nice.
Every time I see one of my mutuals use it, I'm just like, I would dangerous things to have that in my gym. That would be in there. And then my 5th one would be the Cybex. I'm saying a lot of Cybex. Cybex, hit me up. The Cybex Mark 1 leg press.
Yes.
The one that Dorian used to use. That's an amazing machine. That one is, that was great.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man. Those are some good. I think you can tell a lot about a person by their favorite machines. A lot about how they train. Yeah, man, for sure. Those are some fucking good ones. Fuck it, right? We'll just do the last question. This is from Iswa. What's your favorite number?
My favorite number?
Yeah,
3.
3.
I'm born December the 3rd. December 12. Audio multiple of 3. Unless I'm being stupid, right? 3, 6, 9, 12.
And 1 + 2 is 3.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the 3rd, and I'm 2003. And the only time I've ever won like I guess a lottery was in year 3. Like it was like I guess it was like a school event, whatever. You pick a number, they put in the thing, and you pick out. Da, da, da. I didn't even technically win. There was like 3 prizes, and I was third. And it was this mug, this like Sports Direct mug, and I've literally kept that for so many years. And I go, oh, what? My lucky number is now 3 because I came third. But yeah,
That's such a good answer to such a shit question.
Yeah, you know, fine well Lewis is sat there just wanting Toitan to do this.
Yeah.
Christ, man. And I think that's where we'll part the episode.
Yeah, I think
Fantastic.
that's a good amount of time.
Toitan, do you want to plug anything else?
Shit, if you guys are buying anything from Controlled, like I said, EU, UK shipping should be fixed so you're not paying like 3 times the amount that you would even pay for the shirt. That's going to be coming around latest, like March, April. If you get anything from ESN, code Toitan. Anything you might think of, code Toitan. They might see that you're using code Toitan and give me a code, so yeah.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, that's my shameless plugs.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Anigage podcast is for. Right then, gentlemen, and the sport lady.
Wait.
Okay.
One last thing. This is something I was hoping there'd be some sort of question about like sports animes or animes I'd watched in prep. But like I was saying earlier about consuming a piece of media at the exact right time, during my first prep, I started reading a manga called Slam Dunk.
Yeah.
Everybody and their direct family members needs to consume Slam Dunk. I don't care what you do. I don't care how old you are. Consume Slam Dunk and you will want to become better at what you do. And you'll be more meticulous about wanting to do. Like I keep all of my, like I started logbooking and I made a conscious effort to keep every single logbook I've ever made. And like almost every time I finish a logbook, I won't go through session to session, but I'll go through that time period and I'll think about what was going on then. And that's directly pulled from something that they did in Slam Dunk. And I'm like every now when I do these things, then I'm like, oh shit, that is because I've watched this. So if you're ever going through a task or you feel like there's something monumental that you need to become better at, watch Slam Dunk or read Slam Dunk while you're doing it. And I promise you're going to want to be so much harder and better.
I want to add to that. Because I'm pretty sure, is that Inoue that wrote that? Because he done Vagabond as well. Yeah. But coming back to it, Wheelchair Basketball, he wrote Real.
Yeah.
Mate, Real is so fucking good.
So
I got slandered. We made a clip of that when I was talking about Wheelchair Basketball being like Rocket League. Mate,
I think we were just trying not to laugh.
It is so good. I was in a nightclub and this guy saw that I had the Toji pendant on my, like I had a chain of it, and he was like, "Oh, do you like this? Read Real." And I was like, I was still drunk. I didn't really know. I'll figure out when I get home. And it was Wheelchair Basketball, and I thought he was taking the piss. Mate, it was so good.
And that's what I like. So what I was saying earlier with like sports animes, I really love if it's a sports anime, when almost like the sport itself becomes secondary to what the author may tell you. And that's why I couldn't really get behind Blue Lock very well, because there was the whole egoism thing. And I'm like, that's cool and all, but like, I don't really care about like striving to be individually the one that stands alone kind of thing. But like with Slam Dunk, to not spoil anything, basketball itself becomes secondary towards like finding your own passion and living the way that you decide you want to like actually mature and go through. And that's even another sports anime like Haiku. Like it almost becomes like with I forgot the name, but there's a character that wears the glasses.
Tsukishima.
Yeah, you know the scene where they're at the tournament and he blocks, like, because he doesn't really care about volleyball that much, and then he blocks it and lands. He goes, "Oh!"
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite scenes in anime or manga, because it shows that although the sports is the medium, the author's trying to get it through to you, there's always some sort of like primary understanding of just life that you can get from these kind of ones, and those are the ones that ingrain like into your brain, and that's why I hate Blue Lock.
Haikyuu's so good for that though, because
Yeah.
it's like you say, there'll be something that's quite left field, it's like the jazz one or Food Wars, and it just amplifies it. But with Haikyuu, the primary thing, as much as it is volleyball to some extent, mate, you care about Hinata so much,
Yeah.
Kageyama, Nishiyama, you care about all these little individuals. And like Tsukishima, his brother was meant to be the volleyball player, but he's actually in the crowd. And all of a sudden he hates it. They go to the summer and it's so fucking good. But yeah, that's another one there. Yeah, sorry, we were trying to stop the episode. I'm like, but as well as one.
No,
I love how we asked Toitan to plug something and then we talk about Haikyuu.
that's the way the show.
There's no rules in the Anigans
The
podcast.
Anigans podcast.
Yeah, it's just whatever. Fuck it, Toitan. I've got another question actually. Before we
1 second.
Yeah,
Go.
I was going to say. So you said One Piece is your favorite manga, right? So
Yeah.
what would your other, if you were to say top 3 or top 5 manga, what else are you putting in?
I'd put Slam Dunk in there as number. This is a weird way to start. Slam Dunk in there as number 2. I'd put Vinland Saga in there as number 3 because One Piece would be number 1 then. So it'd be One Piece, Slam Dunk, Vinland Saga. Number 4 would probably be JJK, and because like I'm just ranking these as terms of like if I like so something like JJK I read before I watched, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like so then I'd mainly just associate it with the manga. And then for 5 I'd put JoJo's because I've only really read part 4. I haven't read the whole thing of JoJo's, but I've been like dragging my feet of getting around to Steel Ball Run.
That's interesting. I was expecting to hear maybe a Berserk, maybe a little bit of Vagabond as well.
See, I have a actually, yeah, no, Vagabond would go in there as number 5 then instead of JoJo's.
Okay.
But my thing with Berserk is I started reading it, I got to chapter 110 or like 111, and it's midway through the Lost Children arc.
Yes. Yeah.
When it's like that, there's like this fairy that's like running around or whatever, and like I'm okay, I'm good with like gore horror and like the shock effects of like how depraved people can be in the Berserk world, and that's cool. But like there's a scene, there's this one manga panel that always comes to mind when I think back about, okay, let me pick back up Berserk, and I'm just like, nah, and I know that's like part and parcel of like picking up Berserk because it handles a lot more mature things. But like, I'm like, I know the general outline. Like I said earlier, about you can kind of predict how a story is going to go based on like the kind of this positions character put into. Like, okay, cool. I can assume he's going to go on a redemption arc, or he's going to go on an arc where he's understanding to find value in other things in life. I'm like, I already get those things from like a Vinland Saga or like a Vagabond without having to keep reading through these kind of like really gore scenes because like they just kind of make me go. I'm a bit squeamish basically. I'm a pussy. I can't read through Berserk is my hot take that like I can't sit through that. After I saw it, it was like this fairy getting like Berserk things happening, and I was just like,
yeah.
Nah, I've seen enough to understand how the story's gonna go. But the Golden Age arc, probably top 5 best arcs of all time. Like the way he what's his name? No, I can't remember his name. But the way he really makes you care about each of the Falcons. I think they're called Falcons. The way he makes you really care about them is amazing. And Pippin, amazing character as well. But yeah, I couldn't finish it. I don't have the stomach for that.
That's fair. That's fair enough. I think it does get to a point where I would just say with some sort of more so adult or edgy manga where they just sort of throw in gore and violence for the sake of gore and violence, and you can portray that out, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that Berserk does it just for the sake of it. Like I can see why, and like I respect the author enough to give him the benefit of the doubt that like, yeah, you're doing this to kind of show the lengths these like really depraved people will go through or whatever. But like just to like, I know this is gonna keep happening. I'm like,
yeah, it does, mate. Yeah, a lot worse things happen as well.
Yeah, I'm just like, But and I guess for me that's my litmus test. Is like, is Berserk like, because I know people that do finish Berserk and they love Berserk, whatever. But like, and I don't doubt it's going to be amazing. It's just that that for me that's the point where it was like, all right, I'm gonna need to pump the brakes on how deep it gets. Because people then go on to like Junju, I'm about to butcher the name, Junju Ito, like horror core,
Spiral and everything like that.
Yeah, and I know myself that like I'm not big into like horror movies because I don't find them realistic. But I know that how good mangakas can get, that if I was to get into that like Junji Ito kind of landscape, I would get really freaked out reading these on like a day-to-day basis. So
yeah,
that's the where
yeah,
that's valid.
That's fair.
Right,
yeah, man. Right then,
wrap up here.
All right.
If everybody did enjoy, please share around with your family, your friends. Links for whatever. We'll put Toitan's Instagram in the bio or whatever. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in to the end, and we'll catch you next week.
Ciao, ciao.
Peace.